Hey guys, what's up? So this video, I want to tell you about problems that I've been having doing this whole adult thing. More to the point, basically how I'm not cut out to do this adult thing, because there are certain things that just I haven't mastered yet that practically everybody else has, but for some reason I just can't do those things. So it's like, I really don't think I'm really cut out for this adult thing, and I don't think I'm the only one. I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of other people out there who just can't really be adult for whatever reason that is. And so that's basically what I dealt with the entire month of January. The major thing about this, not really being able to do this whole adult thing, like I said, is that for whatever reason, as I've stated before, I don't know what it is, but I just still cannot manage to get a job. Now, I've done everything else I'm supposed to do, but for whatever reason, I still cannot get a job. And that's one thing that's really making, this whole adult thing difficult, is because without a job, you really can't do a whole lot. You can't really live your life. I mean, you're kind of stuck wherever you are, which for me, I'm stuck at home because I can't live on my own. I can't get my own place. I can't have roommates because I can't, pay rent or pay, mortgages and all that type of stuff. I just don't think I'm really cut out for this adult thing, even though as much as I try, I just don't think I'm cut out for it, because as of right now, I have about 100, I have over 100 places I've applied to in just 2 months. That just shows you how much commitment I've been, to looking for a job, seeing, well, also that, I have practically 4 days out of the week to look for a job, but, that's pretty, impressive, because usually by the time I get 100 places, I'm like the middle or end of the year, so 100 places in just a little over a month, that's pretty something, that's something. On top of, the 100 places that I've applied to, I haven't heard back from any of those places, and the reason I might not be hearing back from these places or be getting those emails saying, thank you for your interest, but at this time we're not interested, is because for whatever reason, apparently I've been failing those stupid assessment tests that usually are at the end of applications. They want to know, do you strongly agree with this? Do you strongly disagree with this? And apparently there's a system that you have to answer all those questions in a set pattern. So it's like you have to answer basically you strongly agree or you strongly disagree, and you can't, do like slightly agree, slightly disagree, or, the neither agree, disagree, or you have, indifferent. Because apparently the way those tests are created by big companies is that they say they want to know you, they want to get to know your personality and all type of stuff, but in reality, they don't want to really know to get to know you, because if like most people, when you answer those type of questions, you're not always going to say you strongly agree or you strongly disagree. Most people are going to be like, well, I'm kind of in the middle, or yeah, I slightly agree with this, or I slightly disagree with this. But at the same time, there are questions you're strongly going to agree with, and then questions you're strongly going to disagree with. But it's like, no, you can't answer the way that you actually would answer. You have to answer the way that, companies want you to do. So it's like, no, I completely disagree with this, or yes, I completely agree with this. And I kind of just think I don't see why companies want to do that in the first place. It's like, if you really want to get to know the person, let them answer the way that they actually would do this. There's a lot of people who, like myself, would probably put, indifferent or neither disagree or disagree, because we kind of basically are like that. We don't care either way. But, if you want to get anywhere, you have to play by the game. That's the thing that's like a recurring thing I've been, finding out about adulthood. You have to play the game in order to survive, or if you want to make it anywhere. But I don't feel like you should have to play a game. You should just, what's the problem with just being yourself? I don't understand it. Like, what's so wrong about being yourself? If people were just more themselves, then I think there would be probably far less problems than they are, than where everybody has to conform to society and, basically be a robot. The thing about those assessment tests that drive me crazy is that when you're applying for certain jobs, doesn't matter whatever you are, the questions are practically the same. And the thing is like, if I'm applying for like, let's say I'm going to work at a pet store, you would think that at least some of the questions on this assessment thing, or some of the questions that even ask you in general, should be like, do you like animals? Do you have a pet? How much experience have you had with animals? Do you like cats? Do you like dogs? So, when I went to apply for PetSmart, and I had to answer like 250 questions, and not one of those things things had anything to do with the job that I was applying for. Like, you would think at least some questions would be like, hey, do you like pets? Do you have a cat? Do you like a dog? I mean, like, they shouldn't be the same thing for everything you apply to. It should be like specific oriented questions for the job that you're applying for, not just the same how many questions that you have to fill out in the way they want it to, or, you know, you just get, you know, disregarded and, you know, sorry, but, you know, better luck next time kind of thing. And I just don't get why, you know, you have to do that. But again, I guess, you know, it's the whole thing about being an adult. You have to do things you don't want to do, but maybe I just don't want to do that. Maybe I can't do an adult thing. Maybe I can't do this whole adult thing because maybe I just haven't quite grown up yet. But I kind of think that every year I grow up, you know, a significant amount. So maybe I'm not completely there, but then again, does anybody actually ever get there? Just because, you know, you're an adult, that you're 35 or you're 55, does that technically say that, yes, I'm a completely grown up person? Or like, no, I'm not completely grown up yet. Yes, I may be adult and I do adult things, but at the same time, I still do things that, you know, people would think are slightly immature or whatever. So it's like, is being an adult really being an adult? Or is it just part of the time? I don't know. Maybe that's something to think about. So basically what I wanted to talk about, and what I've been dealing with, and how it's putting that stress on me that I kind of said in my resolutions video that I want to be stress-free, but looking for a job and doing all that stuff and filling out those questions, that's stressful, because especially now that you have to do it in a particular order in order to even be considered for, you know, an interview, that's a lot of stress. Plus, some of those assessments are timed, so you have like 35 minutes or sometimes even 25 minutes, and you've got to answer like 125 to 150 questions in that span of time. I'm sorry, but if I can't do that kind of thing, it takes me a while to sometimes read things, so I have to read things, so it's like that takes up a chunk of time. So it's like, I don't think the assessments should be timed. It should be untimed. Let the people reread so they can, the best of their abilities, understand the question, and most importantly, you have to understand the subtext of the question. So it's like, maybe worded this way, but they're actually, you know, saying a different, they're actually meaning something different. So it's like, would people steal if they knew that, you know, they would never get caught? And apparently you're supposed to answer, yes, people would steal if they know they would never get caught. Whereas I was like, no, I would never steal, so I would do, you know, no, I disagree. But apparently you have to answer it that way. So it's like, I don't understand. How are you supposed to know the subtext of a question? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Basically what it comes down to, it's just like, life is unfair, but you have to deal with it. Alright guys, so that's basically this little rant I wanted to tell you about how I'm not really doing well in this whole adult thing. Jobs aren't really coming my way because apparently I'm not playing by their rules, and without a job, I just can't really do anything. I'm stuck where I am, and that's just about it. So, being an adult is so much fun. Kids, or whoever's watching this, stay young, never grow up, just be Peter Pan. That's the moral of this video. Alright, like I said, that's all I wanted to talk about is, you know, my frustrations about doing this whole adult thing and why jobs are just very, 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 very hard, and filling out applications and doing assessments and all that other great rigmarole. So, until next time, this is me saying goodbye, and if you are looking for jobs like myself, sincere sympathy that if you're not getting it, and good luck for everybody else who is. We're all in the same boat. Okay, so until next time, this is me saying goodbye, and I'll see you. Alright, take care. Bye.